Of the dictatorship more than 20 years ago, Iraq's progress to a federal system remains largely incomplete. Constitutional safeguards designed to prevent the tragedies of the past and the insecurities of the future for Kurds, Sunnis, and Shia have been openly challenged. Some of these provisions have been entirely reversed, threatening the power-sharing configuration with the KRG and undermining the constitution all the parties voluntarily embraced in 2005. There is still important work left to be done to fully transition from Iraq's long history of centralization to a fully fledged federal system. Progress on land disputes with supervision from the United Nations would signal goodwill to Kurdish families who continue to be expelled from their ancestral lands in Kirkuk. The establishment of a second chamber or Federation Council would anchor a federal system, and the revenue-sharing law that gives each group a stake in their future would bring about trust in ways that are currently missing. This cycle of distrust deserves a closer look. We in the Kurdistan region have been patient, but our duties have not translated into meaningful rights. Agreements meant to give us a monthly share of the federal budget have been repeatedly violated, robbing us of basic citizen rights. This should not be allowed to continue. As I stand here today, 20 years after the removal of the former regime, I can't help but feel that our people deserve better, as do all Iraqis. We all aspire to a federal system where everyone, regardless of ethnic or religious background, would enjoy irreversible rights, economic benefits, and individual security, all under a federal umbrella. That hasn't happened. At times, it has seemed like every group has had to fend for itself to secure its future, relying on the goodwill of individual politicians in Baghdad or, even worse, neighboring countries. This has hampered progress aimed to enhancing Iraq's security. This has been made clear with what has now become almost routine drone attacks into the Kurdistan region. This has jeopardized the post-ISIS recovery too, threatening to trigger a new wave of displaced families. The Yazidis issue remains unsolved. The Sanjar agreement, signed more than 3 years ago, remains abstract. Armed groups, militias, and the PKK continue to occupy the area. A local government has yet to be elected, and the Yazidi people, who have waited for too long to return to their ancestral homeland, continue to long for a future where they can live in safety and dignity, a future they can shape on their own terms. It's easy to say that the odds are against Iraq, but we in the Kurdistan region still believe that real progress can be achieved if we acknowledge that the starting point should not be a debate over an outright return to the pre-federal Iraq or an end of constitutional protections. It must instead be about building upon what has been achieved. That is why we are here today, to be humble about the failures since 2005, openly discuss what could change, and determine the best way to do it. I can't think of any other institution than Chatham House that can credibly provide a better forum for debating these questions and ideas. I look forward to taking part in what I am confident will be a fruitful debate over the next couple of hours. Thank you very much.